Hello there, and welcome back to the quiet side of the world. Tonight, we slip into a story that has been unfolding far longer than human memory. A story written in paw prints, across snowfields, in soft depressions along riverbanks, in claw marks etched into the bark of ancient trees. It is a story of elegance and instinct, of silence and survival, of creatures shaped not only by the earth but by evolution's most patient, meticulous hand. This is the realm of the big cats. Not merely lions and tigers, but an entire lineage of shadows and strength. Leopards melting into forest light, jaguars gliding through jungle water, cougars whispering across continents, snow leopards wandering where even the air grows thin. They are the quiet architects of wild places, the rhythm keepers of ecosystems. The breath in the grass, the flicker in the trees, the glint of eyes when dusk breathes in. And tonight, in the hush of your room, beneath the soft weight of your own slowing breath, we step gently into their world. Take a moment. Let your shoulders loosen. Let your inhales lengthen. Feel the night settle softly around you. Because the world of the big cats is not a world you can rush into. It is a landscape shaped by patience, by creatures who move like shadows and think like quiet storms. When a jaguar decides to climb into a tree or slip into a river, it does so with centuries of instinct guiding each muscle. When a lioness chooses her path across the savannah, she follows trails carved long before any map existed. When a snow leopard leaps between cliffs, it trusts patterns etched into bone over millions of years. We enter this world slowly, gently, step by step, a world older than ours. Long before humans told stories around firelight, long before languages formed or tools gleamed beneath the sun, big cats were already roaming Earth's ancient continents. They watched glaciers advance and retreat. They saw forests rise from volcanic plains. Their ancestors walked beside mastodons and giant ground sloths. The world has shifted around them countless times, and still they endure. Each big cat species carries within it a timeline far older than our civilizations. Lions once roamed across Europe. Tigers prowled from the Caspian Plains to the Pacific coast. Jaguars stretched across both Americas. Leopards spanned more territory than any other large carnivore. Snow leopards built their lives where even eagles hesitate to fly. They are not merely survivors, they are archives, living repositories of ancient design. Tonight, we explore not only the facts, behaviors, and adaptations of these remarkable animals, but the quiet essence that makes them feel almost mythic. Strength in stillness. Most people imagine big cats as creatures defined by movement, running, leaping, striking. But the truth is softer, more deliberate, more sleepy science. A lion does not spend its days roaring. It spends most of its life resting. Eyes half closed, muscles warm beneath the sun, breathing deeply, conserving strength. A snow leopard is not constantly hunting. It is waiting, watching, learning the mountain, listening to the wind, understanding how sound travels across ice and canyon. A cheetah does not sprint unless it must. If it fails, it loses energy it cannot afford. So it walks softly, silently, almost dreamlike, saving its speed like a breath held in the chest of the earth. A jaguar moves not like a predator, but like a shadow. Not rushing, not forcing, just blending. Big cats are creatures of efficiency, of quiet mastery, of perfect timing. And in that stillness, there is a strange comfort, a reminder that power does not always roar. Sometimes it rests, sometimes it breathes, sometimes it simply exists. Why their world helps us sleep. There is something deeply soothing about watching big cats or listening to their stories. Perhaps it is the rhythm of their movement, smooth, unhurried, precise. Perhaps it is the landscapes they inhabit, grasslands waving under twilight winds, jungles humming with distant rain, mountains where snow falls like whispered ash. These are places where time slows, where sound softens, where life moves at its natural pace. Big cats live in environments shaped by silence. The savanna at dusk, the jungle just before rain, the mountain air before dawn, the desert under star-washed skies. These settings mirror the moments when our own minds grow quiet, when the body begins to drift, when sleep opens like a gentle doorway. To listen to their world is to remember how peaceful the earth can be. Predators, made of paradox. Big cats carry a fascinating duality. They are fierce, yet fragile, silent, yet loud when they choose, solitary, yet deeply connected to their families, ancient, yet constantly evolving, powerful, yet graceful beyond explanation. A lion's roar shakes the ground, but its tongue carries tiny hooks made for grooming cubs. A tiger's bite can crack bone, but it spends hours floating peacefully in rivers. A leopard can drag an antelope up a tree, but it prefers to move unseen. A cheetah can outrun cars, but is vulnerable to almost every other predator. A snow leopard patrols icy ridges, but cannot roar at all. These contradictions form the heart of their beauty. And tonight, we follow each thread slowly, gently, until the tapestry of their world reveals itself. You are safe here. The world outside can wait. Tonight is not about urgency, not about noise, not about the weight of the day. Tonight is about softness, curiosity, quiet exploration. You are here listening, breathing, settling. And as the night deepens and your thoughts begin to soften at the edges, we let the big cats guide us deeper into calm. You don't need to remember everything. You don't need to focus intensely. Just allow the images, the landscapes, the stories to drift through your mind. Let them settle like dust beneath a slow, warm breeze. Let them lead you into a gentler rhythm. And so, we begin. The world of the big cats opens before you like a moonlit plain. Ahead lie 11 journeys. Through strength, evolution, camouflage, mythology, ecology, and time itself. Each one told softly, with the patience of creatures who have never hurried, and the grace of predators who move like breath across the wild. When you are ready, simply whisper to yourself, "Let the night continue." And we will step into the first realm, Section 2, Strength and Physiology. If you were to meet a big cat in the wild at a respectful distance, somewhere between fear and awe, you might first notice the surface. The fur, the eyes, the elegant frame, the quiet confidence. But beneath that exterior lies a biological masterpiece shaped by millions of years of adaptation. Big cats are not simply strong. Their strength is refined, efficient, and almost impossibly quiet. They are not animals built for chaos. They are built for precision. Tonight, we step inside their anatomy, gently, slowly, as though tracing our fingers along the ancient blueprint of evolution itself. Settle in, let your breath soften, and let's listen to the quiet machinery at work beneath the fur. The power hidden in silence. Big cats rarely move loudly. Their footsteps dissolve into the ground. Their breathing merges with the wind. Even their muscles, often described as explosive, operate like coiled springs made not of metal, but of something far quieter: elastic fibers, tendon networks, and a spine designed for fluid motion. A lion can weigh more than 200 kilograms, yet walk through grass without disturbing a single blade. A tiger can slip into a river without creating a ripple larger than a fingertip. A leopard can descend a tree head first as though gravity is merely a suggestion. This silence is not magic. It is engineering. Tissue, bone, cartilage, and tendon woven together so delicately that force travels through their bodies like sound waves through soft air. Evolution has not simply made big cats strong, it has made them smooth. Muscles built for precision, not bulk. A big cat's body is a study in elegant efficiency. Unlike the bulky muscle of a bodybuilder, feline musculature is long, elastic air, optimized for range of motion, packed with fast twitch fibers. This allows them to accelerate with breathtaking speed and stop with equal control. A cheetah does not run so much as it unfurls. Its spine bends like a bow, storing energy, releasing it, bending again, releasing again. A living waveform. A tiger's shoulder blades are not fused to the skeleton like ours. They float held by muscle alone. This gives them tremendous range and explosive swiping power. A lion's hind legs are built like coiled springs. With a single leap, they can cover distances that would take humans several running strides. To watch a big cat move is to see a body in perfect negotiation with physics. The roar, strength turned into sound. If strength had a voice, it would be the roar of a lion. Reaching more than 100 decibels and traveling as far as 5 miles, the lion's roar is not simply loud. It is felt, deep in the chest, through the ground, through the air. And the reason is astonishing. Inside a big cat's throat lies a structure called the hyoid apparatus. In most animals, it is fully ossified, hardened. In big cats, it is partially elastic. That elasticity allows the vocal folds to vibrate slowly but powerfully, creating infrasound waves that travel immense distances. A roar is not just a sound. It is a territory map, a warning, a reassurance to the pride, and sometimes a declaration of existence. Tigers and lions share this ability. Though their roars differ in tone, lions are thunder, tigers are earthquakes. And yet, not all big cats roar. Snow leopards, with their unique throat structure, cannot roar at all. Their communication is softer chuffing, growling, a quiet breath shared on cold air. Proof that power does not always need to be loud. The bite. Precision-engineered force. The jaw of a big cat is one of the most specialized pieces of biological architecture in the animal kingdom. A jaguar's bite force is legendary. It doesn't just pierce flesh, it crushes bone, even the armored shells of caimans and turtles. No other big cat matches this concentrated force. A tiger's canines are longer than a human finger. Not just weapons, but evolutionary tools designed to target specific points on the neck with surgical precision. A lion's jaw is built to clamp and hold for long durations, essential during group hunts where multiple lions coordinate to bring down massive prey like buffalo or giraffes. And a leopard's jaws are engineered to lifting prey twice its weight up into trees, against gravity, branch by branch, as if carrying a secret treasure. Strength is not always about raw power. Sometimes it is about purpose. Claws, the silent sculptors of survival. A big cat's claws are works of art. Retractile, hidden, protected beneath sheaths of skin until needed. Sharp, because they are preserved. Precise, because they rarely touch the ground. Cheetahs are the exception. Their claws do not fully retract. They trade sharpness for traction, using their claws like cleats during high-speed chases. Tigers use their claws for climbing, gripping, and anchoring during takedowns. Lions use them in coordinated ambushes, hooking the legs of prey mid-step. Leopards use them for climbing with prey, gripping bark silently. Snow leopards use them to dig into icy slopes, where a slip could mean death. Each species uses claws differently, but all share one truth. Their claws are not weapons first. They are tools of survival, balance, climbing, gripping, sculpting the world to their advantage. A spine designed like poetry. If you were to trace your hand down the back of a big cat, gently, respectfully, you would feel the architecture of their greatest secret weapon, their spine. Long, flexible, flowing. It allows cheetahs to double the length of each stride. leopards to twist mid-air when falling, snow leopards to land silently even on unstable snow, tigers to wrestle prey far larger than themselves, lions to absorb the impact of charging animals. Their spine is not a simple structure. It is a living spring, a conduit of power, a bridge between intention and motion. And when a big cat stretches long, slow, luxuriously, it is not merely relaxing. It is resetting the entire machinery of its body, the heart of a predator. Inside this elegant structure beats a heart built for bursts. Big cats are not marathon runners. They are sprinters, ambushers, leapers. Their physiology is tuned for explosive action followed by long rest. Every hunt is a calculated risk. Every movement is a negotiation with energy. Which is why lions sleep up to 20 hours a day. Why cheetahs rest after every chase. Why tigers move at dusk and dawn. Their rest is not laziness. It is survival. It is strategy. It is the wisdom of predators who have learned that strength is not constant, it is managed carefully. And perhaps, in that, there is a quiet lesson for us too. Section 3. Behavior and hunting strategy. There is a rhythm to the way big cats move through the world, a rhythm so steady, so ancient, that it's easy to forget how long it has been unfolding. Their behavior is not random, nor is it fueled by instinct alone. It is a tapestry of memory, silent decision-making, and strategies sharpened across millions of years. A big cat does not simply hunt. It calculates. It listens. It waits. It watches the world breathe, and then moves with it. Tonight, we step into this subtle dance, the behaviors that make these animals not only apex predators, but quiet masters of survival. Let the world slow down around you. Let your breath fall into a calm, gentle rhythm. And let the ancient logic of these creatures reveal itself, one soft step at a time. The art of living in silence. You may imagine predators as noisy, dramatic animals, but big cats live by an entirely different rule. Silence is survival. A leopard can move through dry leaves without making a whisper. A tiger can wade through water like a drifting shadow. A lioness can cross open plains with such control that even the wind hesitates to disturb her path. Their bodies are built for muted movement, but their minds are trained for observation. A big cat is always reading the ground, feeling vibrations through its paws, measuring the direction of the wind, testing the air with its tongue, tracking shadows, shapes, and breaths. This is not instinct alone. This is awareness, deep, constant, patient. In a way, big cats are meditators of the wilderness. Their survival depends on a mental stillness that few animals can maintain. Their bodies move only when the mind decides the timing is perfect. The lioness, the strategist of the savannah. In the open plains, where danger has no corners to hide behind, lions have evolved a different method: teamwork. A pride of lions is not merely a family, it is a coordinated hunting unit. Each member has a role. The flankers move wide and silent, pushing prey inward. The chasers create movement, just enough to shift the herd. The ambushers wait in tall grass, perfectly still. The dominant females make the final push, choosing the exact moment to strike. Lionesses rarely speak during a hunt. Their communication is through micro-movements. The angle of a shoulder, the tilt of a tail, the speed of a single breath. A successful hunt is not a burst of chaos. It is a sequence of quiet decisions synced across multiple bodies. Even the males, though less frequent hunters, play critical strategic roles, blocking escape routes for large prey, or overwhelming animals too powerful for lionesses alone. To witness a lion hunt is to witness cooperation forged through generations of memory. The tiger, the solitary architect of ambush. A tiger does not share. A tiger does not coordinate. A tiger does not negotiate with other tigers. It hunts alone, a phantom in orange and shadow stripes. Tigers are masters of stillness. For hours, sometimes days, a tiger may watch the same path, learning the patterns of deer, boar, or buffalo. It studies sound, scent, timing. It memorizes the forest. When the moment comes, the strike is swift and lethal. Not a chase, but a conclusion. A tiger's behavior is built on perfecting the moment before action. Not rushing, not improvising, but choosing the instant where success feels inevitable. Its patience is as much a weapon as its claws. The leopard, the ghost of the forest. To understand the leopard, you must understand secrecy. Leopards are perhaps the most adaptable of all big cats. Living in grasslands, rainforests, mountains, deserts, even the outskirts of cities. This is because their behavior revolves around one principle: be unseen. A leopard avoids conflict at every turn. It avoids lions, avoids hyenas, avoids unnecessary risk. So it becomes a shadow, hunting in the space between moonlight and leaves, slipping through thickets without rustling a single branch, using trees as highways, escape routes, dinner tables. When a leopard kills, it does something no other big cat excels at. It lifts its prey, sometimes heavier than itself, into the arms of a tree. Not for drama, but for practicality. High above, the meal is safe from scavengers, safe from rivals, safe from the night. Leopards survive not through power, but through intelligent invisibility. The cheetah, the runner, and the rethinker. Of all big cats, the cheetah breaks the mold. It does not roar. It does not ambush from trees. It does not wrestle prey with brute strength. Instead, its body is tuned for a different strategy. Speed pure, explosive speed. A cheetah does not stalk endlessly. It watches. It calculates angles. It predicts where the gazelle will be, not where it is. When the chase begins, it is not chaos. It is choreography. The cheetah tilts its tail like a rudder, shifts its spine like a whip of energy, uses claws as cleats to grip the earth, turns with such precision that the chase resembles a dance more than a hunt. But the cheetah carries a vulnerability. Its speed burns energy quickly. If it fails, it must give up the chase entirely, panting hard, body trembling. Its strategy is simple: strike fast, strike clean, or do not strike at all. The jaguar, the river's shadow. Deep in the rainforests of Central and South America, the jaguar moves like water, heavy, silent, deliberate. A jaguar does something extraordinary among big cats. It hunts in 3 dimensions. On land, it walks with the steady weight of a living boulder. In the trees, it climbs with deceptive ease. In the water, it swims like something born of the river itself. While lions use teamwork, and tigers use ambush, and cheetahs use speed, the jaguar uses force. Its bite is the strongest of all big cats relative to size. It does not aim for the throat. It aims for the skull. One bite. The hunt ends instantly. Jaguar behavior is a study in calm, confident dominance. Not exaggerated, not hurried, just certain. The snow leopard, the sage of the mountains. Among icy cliffs where even air seems reluctant to move, the snow leopard lives in quiet isolation. Everything about its behavior is gentle. Soft chuffing calls, slow, careful steps, rare encounters with others of its kind. Hours spent watching the mountains shift in light and shadow there. Hunting on steep slopes demands precision no other big cat can match. One misstep means a fall into nothingness. So the snow leopard's behavior becomes monk-like. measured, deliberate, patient. Every leap is calculated, every trail memorized, every silence accepted. It is not a predator of aggression. It is a predator of wisdom. A final truth about big cat behavior. Across continents and climates, from forests to deserts to frozen peaks, all big cats share one behavioral philosophy. Do not waste energy. Move with purpose. Choose the right moment. Let silence be your ally. Their world is not frantic. Their choices are not rushed. Their strategy is patience shaped into motion. And perhaps, in the quiet of this moment, beneath the soft rhythm of your own breath, there is something in their behavior that speaks to you too. A reminder to move gently, to choose moments wisely, to let stillness be a kind of strength. Section 4: Communication, Sound, Scent, and Body Language. If you listen closely, not just with your ears, but with the quiet space behind your thoughts, you might begin to sense something profound about big cats. They speak constantly, just not in the way you expect. Their world is not filled with noise. It is filled with signals, soft, subtle, ancient. A twitch of the whiskers, a breath carried on the wind, a low vibration felt more in your ribs than in your ears, a scent pressed into the bark of a tree, a flick of the tail, a slow, deliberate gaze. To understand big cats is to learn their language, a language not written in words, but in the physics of presence. Tonight, let us listen to how big cats speak. Not loudly, not obviously, but deeply. Settle your breathing, soften your eyes, and open the inner ear that listens between heartbeats. The sound of their world. Sound carries differently for big cats. It is not used carelessly. It is not wasted. Every vibration has a purpose. Lions, the thunder of the plains. A lion's roar is a message carved into air. It can travel 8 kilometers across grasslands, hills, and night air thick with silence. It is a boundary marker, a declaration of presence, a cast iron reminder of dominance, a reassurance to members of the pride mass, a challenge to rivals from. But despite this mighty roar, lions are not noisy animals. Their communication is often softer, low grunts shared between close companions, gentle moans when greeting, soft purrs when resting among the pride, deep contact calls used by mothers who cannot leave their cubs apart. These sounds form a quiet symphony of closeness, a reminder that at the heart of power lies connection. Tigers, the earthquake beneath the trees. A tiger's vocal world is built on infrasound, frequencies often below human hearing. When a tiger calls, the forest listens with its bones. These extremely low-frequency vibrations can travel through dense foliage, around obstacles, even through the ground itself. They allow tigers to communicate across kilometers of forest without betraying their exact position. A tiger's vocal repertoire includes guttural roars, deep, resonant, earth-like, chuffing, a warm breath greeting no, cough, roars, short distance warnings, hisses and growls reserved for conflict. Yet the most beautiful sound a tiger makes is the least aggressive. A soft chuff, like warm air meeting winter wind. It is the tiger's version of a greeting, a gentle, "I am here," in a world often shaped by solitude. Leopards, the soaring song of shadows. Many people are surprised to learn that leopards do not roar the way lions and tigers do. Instead, their signature call sounds like a saw cutting wood, a rhythmic, rasping sequence. Saw, 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 saw. It carries far in the still night, echoing through valleys, across savannas, and between the dense layers of forest. This sound marks territory, mating presence, nighttime movement. It is the leopard's way of saying, "This is my shadow, follow your own." Jaguars, the coughing thunder of the jungle. Deep in the rainforest, jaguars break silence sparingly. But when they do, the sound is unmistakable. It begins as a cough, then deepens into a roar, short, powerful, echoing through trees. It is a vibration as dense as the jungle air. Jaguars don't rely heavily on vocalization. Their solitary nature makes sound a rare tool. But when used, it is a thunderclap among leaves. Cheetahs, the voice of the wind. The cheetah is the strange one among big cats. It cannot roar. Its vocal world is delicate. Chirps like birds. Yelps calling to siblings. Soft meows to cubs. Purrs during rest. Their sounds feel light, airy, almost fragile. A fitting voice for an animal built like a whispered breath of speed. Snow leopards, the mountains whisper. Snow leopards, too, cannot roar. Their anatomy preserves the ability to purr, chuff, growl, and hiss. But not thunder. This makes sense in high-altitude silence, where echoes travel endlessly, and loud calls could draw dangerous neighbors. Instead, snow leopards use gentle chuffs, low growls, quiet mews to cubs. Their world is a soft-spoken one, a conversation carried by wind, stone, and snow. Scent, the invisible language. To a big cat, scent is more than smell. It is identity, territory, status, mood, reproductive state, direction of travel, health condition. A single scent mark can hold more information than a paragraph of human speech. Big cats leave scent by urine spraying, rubbing cheeks against objects, facial pheromones, scratching trees to release scent from pads, sweeping their tails across foliage. This invisible web of information creates a living map of their world. When a leopard inhales deeply, curling its lips back in the phlegm in response, it is reading a story. Who passed by, when, and why. In a sense, big cats live inside a world of written messages. Each lingering fragrance, a fragment of someone else's presence. Body language, the art of silent speech. Big cats speak through motion, the tilt of a head, the position of a tail, the angle of the ears. Their bodies are instruments. A low tail signals caution or submission. A high tail signals calm confidence, especially in cheetahs. Flattened ears indicate aggression or fear. Slow blinking conveys trust or non-threat. Whiskers pushed forward signal interest or tension. Whiskers pulled back signal uncertainty. Every gesture matters. Every movement speaks. Touch, the forgotten language. Among lions, touch is essential. Rubbing heads, pressing flanks, resting paws on one another, grooming cubs, sleeping in piles of golden fur. These acts are more than comfort. They reinforce social bonds so deeply that the pride becomes a single organism. Tigers, leopards, and jaguars, though solitary, also use touch with mates and cubs. Soft grooming, protective nuzzles, the guiding push of a gentle paw. Touch is rare for them, and therefore precious. The quiet core of communication. If you look across species, lion, tiger, leopard, cheetah, jaguar, snow leopard, you will notice a pattern. The louder the landscape, the deeper the silence becomes. The harsher the environment, the softer the language grows. Big cats do not waste words. They do not speak without meaning. Their entire communication system is a meditation in efficiency. A breath, a vibration, a scent, a posture. Their world is a quiet place, but never an empty one. Section 5. Evolution and Origins. before big cats roamed forests, savannas, mountains, and jungles. Before their roars rolled across plains, or their shadows slipped through trees. Before humans carved their images into cave walls and whispered their names around firelight, there was only silence, and a long, patient force moving beneath the surface of the earth: evolution. Tonight, we drift backward, far backward, into a world long before human memory. A world shaped by ancient climates, shifting continents, and the slow sculpting hand of natural selection. A world where the first big cats were not yet cats at all, but quiet experiments of bone and instinct. Let your breath slow. Let your mind loosen. And let time soften until millions of years feel like the gentle turning of pages. This is the story of how big cats became big cats. The first shadows, 25 million years ago. The story begins in the Miocene epoch, when Earth was younger, warmer, and wild in ways we barely recognize. Forests stretched across continents. Strange hoofed animals grazed in open plains. Early apes swung through trees. And somewhere in this world emerged a lineage of mammals with retractable claws, growing teeth, and a quiet hunger. They were not yet lions or leopards, not yet hunters of the scale we know today. But they were the blueprint, the earliest feliforms, small carnivores with flexible spines and quick reflexes. They were shadows refining themselves. The dawn of Panthera, 10 million years ago. Around 10-11 million years ago, a remarkable lineage branched off in Asia. Its name, discovered millions of years later, would become iconic: Panthera. This ancestral species gave rise to all modern roaring cats: lion, tiger, leopard, jaguar, snow leopard. Their shared traits: powerful jaws, long canines, extremely flexible spines, and partly ossified hyoid bones were already forming. But what shaped them? The world itself. Cooling climates created patchwork habitats. Forests receded. Grasslands expanded. New prey species evolved. Competition became fierce. Only the cats that adapted, refined, and specialized survived. Evolution is not loud. It is not dramatic. It is the quiet elimination of what does not work. And Panthera worked. The rise of lions, kings before kings. Lions once roamed far beyond Africa. Their ancient range stretched across Europe, the Middle East, India, North Africa, even parts of Siberia. The European cave lion Panthera spelaea was larger than modern lions and revered by early humans, who carved its silhouette into cave walls more than 30,000 years ago. But lions' defining trait was not size. It was society. At a time when most big cats hunted alone, lions formed prides. Cooperation increased their success. Shared defense expanded their territory. Communication deepened. In becoming social, lions became something new: guardians of the savannah, coordinators of movement, architects of teamwork. Their evolution is a reminder that sometimes survival requires others. The making of the tiger stripes born from forest light. Tigers diverged early from the Panthera lineage, evolving in the dense woodlands of Asia. Their stripes were not decoration. They were light, broken into bars, echoed in shadows between leaves. A tiger's orange coat blends surprisingly well in greenery. Deer and boar, with limited color perception, see a blur where a predator waits. The tiger became an ambush artist, relying on immense strength, exceptional night vision, quiet calculation, short bursts of power. Its solitary nature evolved from necessity. Dense forests meant limited visibility. Sharing territory would mean sharing prey. So tigers became monks of the forest. Silent, powerful, alone. The leopard, the adaptable ghost. If evolution rewards flexibility, then the leopard is its masterpiece. From humid jungles to dry savannas, from deserts to snow-dusted mountains, leopards adapted with ease. Their rosettes evolved to mimic dappled light, breaking their silhouette into fragments. Leopards became the most widespread big catus, the most versatile hunterines, the least wasteful the most elusive day. Their survival strategy was simple: be invisible to predator, to prey, to danger, to time itself. The leopard did not need to be the strongest or fastest. It only needed to be unseen. The snow leopard elegance born from altitude. High in the Himalayas, where oxygen thins and winds cut like glass, evolution sculpted an animal unlike any other: the snow leopard. Its adaptations feel almost poetic. Enlarged nasal cavities to warm, freezing air, dense fur that traps heat like winter clouds, long, thick tail used for balance and warmth, wide paws that act like snowshoes, gray, muted rosettes matching rock and shadow. It evolved silence, not for hunting alone, but for survival in a world where even sound feels fragile. Snow leopards are evolution written in soft strokes. The jaguar's strength, shaped by water. Across the ocean, in the rainforests of the Americas, a different path unfolded. The jaguar, though closely related to leopards, evolved under entirely new forces. Rivers, marshlands, dense jungle, armored prey too, climbing, swimming, ambushing, crushing bite force. To survive among caimans, capybaras, wild pigs, and thick-shelled turtles, the jaguar became an embodiment of density in muscle, bone, and power. Its skull is the most robust among big cats. Its bite force is unmatched. Its relationship with water is unique. If the leopard is a ghost, the jaguar is a river stone god. The cheetah speed at a cost. Cheetahs stand apart. They are not true big cats in the panthera sense. They cannot roar. Their evolution diverged early. What they gained was specialization so intense it borders on fragility. Lightweight frame, oversized nasal passages, enlarged heart, long stride, semi-retractable claws, spine like a coiling whip. But specialization has a price. Cheetahs lack the raw power of other big cats, and historically suffered from population bottlenecks that reduced genetic diversity. Yet they endure not through strength, but through elegance. The quiet truth of evolution. Evolution is not a ladder. It is a series of quiet, branching paths. Each big cat followed its own thread. Lion's society, tiger's solitude, leopard's invisibility, snow leopard's altitude here, jaguar's density and water, cheetah's speed, early pantherine's adaptability. Each adaptation is a whisper from the past, preserved through time. And tonight, as your breath slows and your body softens into stillness, you are listening to a story that began long before humanity. A story written in bone, shadow, and silence. Section 6: Colors, Patterns, and Camouflage. There is a moment each evening just after twilight, just before darkness settles, when the world shifts its palette. Colors fade, edges soften, light itself forgets its sharpness. It is in this dreamy space between brightness and shadow that the coats of big cats make the most sense. Because their colors were not painted for the human eye. They were shaped for forests and grasslands, mountains and moonlight, places where survival depends on becoming part of the landscape rather than standing apart from it. Tonight, we wander through a gallery older than any museum. A gallery where fur and sunlight created art together, where evolution was the painter, and the world lush, wild, and unforgiving was the canvas. Let your shoulders soften. Let your breath deepen. Let the quiet come in like a warm blanket. Now step inside nature's hidden studio. The tiger fire turned into shadow. At first glance, a tiger's orange coat seems almost impossible to hide. It glows like flame. It burns against green leaves. To us, it is brilliance wrapped in muscle. But to the animals, tigers hunt deer, boar, wild cattle. That bright orange appears muted, almost greenish, almost brown. Ungulates lack the photoreceptors needed to see orange properly. What we see as fire, their eyes see as forest. The black stripes, meanwhile, are strokes of shadow. They break the tiger's shape into fragments. Long lines echo tree trunks. Vertical bars mimic reeds and tall grasses. Even the skin beneath the fur carries the same stripes. A reminder that camouflage here is not surface decoration. It is biology etched into every layer of the animal's body. When a tiger moves through the forest at dusk, it does not walk. It appears, then disappears. A breath of orange dissolving into dark. The leopard, the architect of light. If the tiger is a flame disguised as foliage, the leopard is a shadow disguised as sunlight. Its rosettes, clusters of dark spots surrounding a pale center, mimic the dappled pattern of light filtering through leaves. Sunday, shadow. Sunday, shadow. Even when a leopard walks, its spots seem to flicker, as though light itself is moving with it. Every population carries its own dialect of pattern. Small, dense rosettes for deep rainforests. Larger, open rosettes for dry savannas are. Pale rosettes for mountainous terrain. This flexibility is why leopards survive almost everywhere. Their camouflage is not a fixed aesthetic. It is an ongoing conversation with the environment. A negotiation between visibility and invisibility. To watch a leopard disappear into leaves is to witness a magic older than language. The snow leopard, the pale mirage of altitude. High in the Himalayas, where light is thin and shadows are cold, the snow leopard wears a coat made not of colors, but of whispers. Its fur is pale gray, almost silver. Its rosettes are soft, blurred by velvet texture. Under snowfall, the animal becomes a ripple in the wind. The world up there is made of stone, cloud, and frost. And so is its camouflage. Gray that mirrors granite cliffs. White that echoes snowdrifts. Faint shadows matching the crags of mountainsides. Its tail, thick as winter rope, wraps around its body like a scarf, but also balances it on narrow ridges where one misstep means death. The snow leopard is not merely camouflaged, it is sculpted from the environment itself. The jaguar, a canvas of sun and shadow. At first glance, jaguars look like leopards, but step closer slowly, respectfully, and you'll see the difference. Inside each rosette is a central dot, a dark seed at the heart of the pattern. This gives jaguars a look that is deeper, more layered, like a forest seen through glass. In the dim light of the rainforest, this dot helps break up the animal's outline in thick foliage. A refinement of camouflage for a darker world. Jaguars evolved in environments where light is soft, humid, and shifting. Where beams of sun pierce leaves through tiny gaps. Where shadows dance constantly. Their coat mirrors this chaos of light. A jaguar does not vanish into darkness. It vanishes into complexity. The melanistic cats, ghosts of the forest. In certain forests dense, ancient, dripping with shadow. A rare genetic mutation paints leopards and jaguars entirely black. Melanism. To the human eye, these animals appear like silhouettes. But look closely under sunlight, and you'll see rosettes still faintly glimmering beneath the darkness. They are called shadow panthers in Asia, onças pretas in Brazil, black leopards or black jaguars in science. Melanism is not random. It provides real advantages. Better camouflage in low light, stronger concealment during ambush, heat tolerance in dense forests. It is evolution trying something bold, something mysterious, something beautiful. A black jaguar walking at dusk is not an animal. It is night given shape. The lion golden invisibility. We imagine lions as symbols of boldness, as bright golden figures crossing sunlit grass. But their coloration is not flamboyant. It is strategic. Their tawny coats match dry grass, dusty soil, warm sand, faded savanna lighters. To prey animals with limited color perception, a lion in grass is simply part of the horizon. Cubs, interestingly, are born with faint spots, a blueprint from ancestors who lived in forests, long before lions fully embraced the open plains. Even their manes hold meaning. Dark manes, high testosterone, social dominance. Pale manes, better heat tolerance in harsh climates. A lion's color is a story, a record of where it came from, and where it must survive. The king cheetah, evolution's rare artist. Every once in a great while, nature breaks its own rules. A cheetah is born not with spots, but with long, dark stripes running down its back. The king cheetah, a genetic twist in the TACPEP gene, a ripple in the blueprint of spots. A reminder that evolution, though practical, occasionally indulges in ornament. These cheetahs are rare, almost mythical. But when you see one, its pattern looks as though wind and ink were painted across its spine. A living calligraphy. The white tiger, a ghost written in genes. White tigers are not albinos. Their eyes still burn blue or amber. Their stripes remain dark. A recessive gene removes the orange pigment, revealing a coat like snow, and eyes that glow against moonlit forests. In the wild, this coloration is incredibly rare, but its existence is a reminder that within every lineage, nature stores possibilities, hidden colors, forgotten patterns, waiting for the right combination of ancestry to whisper them back into the world. The quiet message of camouflage. Color in big cats is more than beauty. It is biography, a record of forest light, mountain shadow one, grassland gold, jungle dimness, snow-dusted stone. Their patterns are signatures written by time. Each rosette a chapter, each stripe a sentence, each golden hair a memory. And through them, nature shows that survival is not always loud, not always forceful. Often, it is simply the mastery of becoming unseen. Section 8. Archaeology and Paleontology. There is a deep stillness in the earth, a silence older than memory, older than language, older than every story humanity has ever told. Beneath the soil and stone, beneath the layers of time, lie the remains of creatures who walked long before us, creatures whose shadows once stretched across icy plains, whose roars rolled through ancient forests, whose bones now sleep in cold sediment. Tonight, we descend into that quiet, not with shovels or chisels, but with imagination softened by calm, guided by the patience of paleontologists and the delicate curiosity of archaeologists. Breathe slowly. Feel the weight of millions of years lighten. Let the earth open like a gentle book. This is the story of the big cats. Before they became the big cats we know. The early pantherines, shadows before stripes. Long before lions ruled the plains, or tigers prowled silent jungles, there were their ancestors, sleek, agile hunters of the ancient world. The earliest proto-pantherines appeared 10-11 million years ago. They were smaller than modern big cats, with bodies built for climbing and ambush. moving through Miocene forests thick with warmth and mist. Fossils found in Tibet, China, and Eurasia show creatures with half-formed traits. Longer canines, powerful forelimbs, semi-retractable claws, early versions of the flexible spine. They were not yet lions or leopards, but the blueprint was already shimmering beneath the surface of their bones. When paleontologists brush dust away from a tooth buried for millions of years, they are touching the beginning of roar itself. The cave lion, Europe's vanished emperor, among the greatest big cats to ever live, was the European cave lion, Panthera spelaea. It was larger than modern lions, with a broader chest and a more powerful frame. Its territory stretched across France, Germany, Spain, Siberia, the Ural Mountains, the British Isles. Imagine a lion pacing through snow, beneath auroras, shining across the Ice Age sky. Cave paintings from Chauvet, drawn 30,000 years ago, capture its stance with breathtaking precision. Ears lowered, shoulders curved, a presence respected even by artists, who likely never survived meeting one. Fossils show that cave lions lived near mammoths, woolly rhinoceroses, giant deer, and early humans. To touch one of their bones is to feel a pulse of a world that has vanished. The Gandong tiger, a giant of Java. On the island of Java, scientists uncovered remains of a tiger so large it challenges imagination. The Gandong tiger was possibly the biggest tiger to ever exist. Its bones suggest a creature heavier than the Siberian tiger, with paws capable of gripping prey, larger than modern buffalo. It lived in an ecosystem shared with early humans. Homo erectus. What did ancient people think when they saw its massive form slip between dense tropical trees? Did they fear it? Did they worship it? Did they tell stories about its glowing eyes beneath monsoon clouds? We don't know. But the bones, broad, dense, powerful, tell us one thing: the forests once held giants. The long-lost leopards of Europe. Leopards once roamed Europe. Their fossils appear in France, Italy, Greece, Austria, and Switzerland. They crept through forests, where now stand vineyards and towns. They hunted deer whose shapes we recognize in modern species. But as climate shifted and humans spread across the continent, the leopard's range retreated south into warmer, forested lands. To imagine a leopard curled in a tree, overlooking ancient Roman hills, is to understand how deeply time rewrites the landscapes we take for granted. The snow leopard's ancestors' bones in the roof of the world. High in the Himalayas, scientists uncovered the fossil of Panthera blythei, one of the earliest known big cats. It lived 5-6 million years ago, in a world colder, wilder, and more vertical than today. From this creature came the soft, pale, mountain-bound lineage we now call the snow leopard. When you see a snow leopard perched on a cliff, tail wrapped around its paws, know that you are looking at a direct descendant of a cat who lived during the formation of the Himalayas themselves. Evolution here was not hurried. It was sculpted by altitude, cold, silence. Saber-toothed cats, the mistake we often make is, many people imagine saber-toothed cats as ancestors of lions or tigers, but they were not. They belonged to a completely separate branch, the Machairodontidae. Creatures like Smilodon were not big cats as we know them. They were parallel experiments. By evolution, massive forelimbs, dagger-like teeth, incredibly strong neck muscles, shorter backs, different skull architecture. They stalked Ice Age plains, alongside mammoths, camels, and giant ground sloths. Smilodon skeletons, found in the tar pits of La Brea, still carry marks of injury, broken bones healed, suggesting these animals cared for one another. An ancient tenderness, hidden beneath the armor of a predator. The American lion, the ghost of a continent. The American lion, Panthera atrox, was one of the largest felines ever discovered. Even bigger than the cave lion, it roamed across Alaska, Canada, the Great Plains, California, Mexico. Imagine a cat nearly 20% larger than modern lions, walking through redwood forests, or standing at the edge of the Grand Canyon, long before humans ever saw those places. Why did it disappear? Climate change, loss of megafauna prey, possibly human activity, probably a combination of all three. Its extinction left behind a silence that the continent has never filled again. What fossils really tell us? Fossils are not just bones. They are echoes of ancient worlds, memories of climates long gone, clues to behavior and diet, maps of migration, fingerprints of evolution, whispers from creatures we will never meet. A cracked tooth can reveal what an animal hunted. A healed rib can show that it survived a fight. Pollen trapped in sediment can reconstruct the landscape. Cut marks on bone can prove early humans interacted with these cats. Every fossil is a message sent across time, a letter written in stone, a story waiting to exhale, the quiet truth of the ancient cats. As you breathe slowly, in the dim comfort of this moment, know this: the big cats of today, lion, tiger, leopard, jaguar, snow leopard, cheetah, are the living tip of a lineage stretching back tens of millions of years. They walk through our modern world with the weight of entire eras behind them. And when you look into the eyes of a big cat, in a documentary, in a sanctuary, even in your imagination, you are looking into a history far older than humanity's own. A quiet, powerful history that the earth has been writing since long before we learned to speak. Section 9. Ecology and the invisible architecture of the wild. There is a quiet architecture beneath every ecosystem, a structure made not of stone or wood, but of relationships. Predator and prey, forest and rainfall, river and root, silence and sound. Big cats live at the top of this architecture, but their importance is not measured in dominance or hunger. It is measured in balance, in the way the air moves when they pass, in the choices prey make because they exist, in the landscapes that blossom or wither depending on whether big cats are present. Tonight, we explore the unseen role big cats play in the world. A role so subtle, so interconnected, that it becomes almost spiritual. Let your breath slow. Let the world dim gently around you. Now step into the web of life, where every pawprint carries a ripple. Apex predators, the quiet engineers of order. Big cats sit at the top of the food chain. But the term apex predator is misleading. It suggests violence and control. The truth is much softer, much deeper. Apex predators are balancers, not rulers. Their main ecological function is simple but profound. They keep herbivore populations in check, not by constant hunting, but by creating a landscape of fear and caution. Where lions roam, zebras graze differently. Buffalo move in tighter herds. Antelope avoid overgrazing fragile grasslands. Giraffes take safer paths. This ecology of fear is not cruelty. It is structure. It prevents entire plains from being stripped barren. A lioness, resting beneath a tree, is shaping the behavior of every animal within miles. In her stillness, there is order, the tiger guardian of the forest. Tigers are solitary, rarely seen, yet their presence echoes through entire ecosystems. When tigers disappear from a forest, the effects are immediate. Wild boar populations surge. Deer overgraze young saplings. The forest thins. Soil erodes over. Streams clog off. Birds lose nesting areas. Insects dwindle. Even rainfall patterns shift over time. A tiger is not simply a predator. It is a forest stabilizer, a protector of new trees, of clean water, of biodiversity. In India, researchers found that where tigers return, rivers run clearer, and monsoon forests recover faster. A single tiger protects thousands of other species simply by existing. The leopard, the shadow that prevents collapse. Leopards fill ecological gaps. Many other predators cannot. They eat monkeys, pigs, birds, small deer, porcupines, rodents, even insects when needed. This flexibility makes them ecological insurance. When lions or tigers decline, leopards often step into the role of keeping herbivores and small mammals in check. Without leopards, rodent populations explode, crops are damaged, disease risk rises, ground nesting birds lose eggs, forest undergrowth gets stripped, all because the shadows disappeared. Leopards are the quiet custodians of balance, the hidden threads in the environmental tapestry, the snow leopard heartbeat of the mountains. The high mountains of Central Asia are fragile ecosystems, held together by delicate chains. Snow leopards regulate blue sheep, ibex, and mountain deer. If these herbivores overgraze, the consequences fall like dominoes. Alpine grasses vanish. Soil slips down slopes. Springs dry out. Water availability changes for entire regions. Pastoral communities suffer. A snow leopard sitting on a rocky ledge is doing far more than watching the horizon. It is protecting water sources, mountain vegetation, biodiversity hotspots, the livelihoods of Himalayan communities. Snow leopards are more than predators. They are the guardians of water, because mountains are Earth's great reservoirs. The jaguar, the keeper of the river. In the Amazon and Pantanal, jaguars serve a unique ecological role. They shape not only forests, but rivers, by preying on species like capybaras, caimans, river turtles, peccaries. They influence bank stability, vegetation growth, nutrient cycles, seed dispersal, wetland structure. Jaguars maintain the balance between land and water. Without them, herbivores overgraze river edges, caiman populations boom, riverbanks erode, fisheries decline, aquatic plants vanish, water clarity suffers. A jaguar slipping into a river is more than a hunter. It is part of a living equation that protects the largest rainforest on Earth. The cheetah, the regulator of speed. Cheetahs don't roar, don't dominate territory, don't bend ecosystems with brute force. Their ecological role is gentler. By selectively hunting young, weak, sick, solitary prey, cheetahs strengthen herds. They reduce disease spread. They refine the genetics of gazelles and antelope by ensuring the fastest, strongest individuals reproduce. Their presence creates healthier prey populations. Cheetahs are less architects. and more editors of the ecosystem, polishing, refining, removing imbalance quietly. Their role is delicate, because their lives are delicate too. The trophic cascade, when the big cats return. Ecologists use the term trophic cascade to describe what happens when a top predator returns to an ecosystem from which it has long been absent. The results are breathtaking. When tigers returned to certain Indian reserves, tree cover increased, water sources revived, soil stabilized, bird populations doubled, insect diversity rose, even grasses grew taller. When cougars returned to parts of the U.S., deer populations shrank, vegetation recovered, riverbanks strengthened, biodiversity surged. When leopards recolonized parks in Africa, baboon crop raiding dropped, rodent explosions ended, tree saplings survived again. A big cat does not need to hunt constantly to create these changes. Its presence is enough. Fear reshapes the landscape as effectively as claws. The quiet truth of ecological balance. Big cats are often seen as symbols of power, but in ecology, their power is gentler than legend suggests. They do not rule ecosystems. They tune them. Like musicians adjusting the tension of a string, they keep the world from unraveling. Remove them, and the melody collapses. Vegetation suffers. Water becomes scarce. Diseases spread. Species vanish. The architecture of nature decays. Allow them to stay, and the world breathes easier. In the soft quiet of this moment, your breath steady and slow. Understand this. Big cats are not just animals. They are the heartbeat of the wild, the silent anchors of ecosystems, the guardians of balance, the keepers of life's oldest harmony. Their survival is the survival of the landscapes that cradle us all. Section 10. Conservation, threats, and the future of big cats. There is a silence in the wild tonight. A silence that does not belong there. Once, the forests echoed with the soft footfalls of tigers. The mountains hummed with snow leopards' quiet breath. The grasslands vibrated with the distant thunder of lions. The rivers whispered with the movements of jaguars. The savannas shimmered with the grace of cheetahs. Now, in many places, that presence has thinned into memory. This section is not about fear or guilt. It is about clarity, about the fragile threads that still connect us to these animals, about the hope that grows wherever humans choose to listen and act. Let your breath soften. Let the world outside fall away, and let us walk gently into the story of what big cats face and what still can be preserved. The weight of decline. Every big cat species is under threat, not because they are weak, but because the world around them has changed faster than evolution ever imagined. The threats come quietly, like shadows lengthening at dusk. 1. Habitat loss. Forests fall, grasslands shrink, mountains fracture, cities and farms spread like ripples. Big cats lose the space they need to hunt, breed, and move. 2. Prey decline. When deer, antelope, or wild cattle disappear, big cats follow. A predator cannot survive where hunger becomes constant. 3. Poaching and illegal wildlife trade. Tigers are hunted for their bones, leopards for their skins, lions for trophies, jaguars for teeth sold as false tiger fangs. Each loss is not just an animal. It is a thread pulled from the tapestry of life. 4. Conflict with humans. When livestock replaces wild prey, big cats are forced into difficult choices. A single attack can lead to retaliation. 5. Climate change. Rivers shift. Forests dry. Prey moves into new areas. Snow melts faster on mountain cliffs. Ecosystems bend under pressure. The world is changing. Big cats must adapt, but only if we give them the space and time to do so. The tiger, a species pulled back from the edge. A century ago, over 100,000 tigers wandered Asia. Today, fewer than 4,500 remain in the wild. But this story is not just loss. It is also hope. Where conservation efforts surged, India's tiger numbers doubled in 12 years. Nepal became the first country to double its tiger population. Russia stabilized its Siberian tiger populations. Protected forests grew mounted. Communities became conservation partners. Tigers remind us that recovery is possible, not through miracles, but through consistency, protection, and respect. The lion, the shrinking kingdom. African lions once roamed across a territory larger than the United States. Today, they occupy less than 10% of it. The reasons are simple and heartbreakingly human. Habitat confined by farms. Prey replaced by livestock town. Conflict rising. Protected areas isolated. And yet, in countries that invested in community-based conservation, lion numbers stabilized. In Namibia and Botswana, local communities became the lion's greatest defenders, protecting them not out of fear, but out of partnership. A lion thriving in the savannah is a symbol of harmony between humans and nature, a harmony still possible. The leopard, the invisible survivor. Leopards are adaptable, but even adaptability has limits. They are losing ground due to habitat encroachment, illegal skin trade, retaliatory killings, fragmentation of forest corridors. Yet the very thing that threatens them, their tendency to live in human-dominated landscapes, is also a source of resilience. Leopards have learned to share space with us, often without us ever knowing. Our responsibility is to make that shared space safer. The snow leopard, the ghost of melting mountains. Only 6,500 snow leopards remain. Their threats: melting snowcaps, declining prey, mining operations, poaching for pelts, conflict with pastoral communities. But hope grows in unlikely places. In parts of the Himalayas, communities now protect snow leopards because tourism supports local livelihoods. In Mongolia and Pakistan, herders receive livestock insurance to discourage retaliation. A snow leopard saved is a mountain saved. The jaguar losing the rivers. Jaguars have lost half their historic range, especially in Central America. Their threats are unique. Deforestation for cattle ranching, illegal trade in jaguar fangs, shrinking wetlands, fragmentation that isolates populations. Yet jaguars remain resilient. Conservationists in Brazil's Pantanal have created wildlife corridors that allow jaguars to roam safely across hundreds of miles of wetland. As long as rivers flow and forests stand, jaguars will survive. The cheetah, the delicate edge. Cheetahs number only about 7,000 inches the wild. They face genetic bottlenecks, low cub survival, competition from larger predators, loss of open plains, conflict with farmers. But their future is not hopeless. Innovative programs, like placing livestock guarding dogs with rural communities, have reduced losses and protected cheetahs without conflict. Sometimes all a species needs is a buffer of understanding. The future fragile, yet full of possibility. The fate of big cats is not sealed. What they need is known. Clear. Simple in principle. 1. Space to roam. Corridors that connect fragmented habitats, so big cats can find mates, food, and new territory. 2. Prey to hunt. Healthy populations of deer, boar, antelope, or buffalo. 3. Protection from poaching. Stronger enforcement. Better education. Alternative livelihoods for communities. 4. Coexistence with humans. Compensation programs. Livestock protection. Community-led conservation. 5. Climate resilience. Preserving forests. Restoring wetlands. Protecting mountain ecosystems. The tools exist. The science is ready. The will is growing. All that remains is the global decision to keep these creatures on Earth. The quiet hope ahead. If you close your eyes for a moment and imagine a world without big cats, you may feel a faint emptiness, a silence too deep, a sky missing something ancient. But imagine instead a different future. Lions returning to restored plains, tigers patrolling protected forests, leopards moving like flickering shadows across connected landscapes, jaguars gliding through healthy rivers, snow leopards resting on secure cliffs, cheetahs sprinting across open savanna, wind guiding their paws. This is not fantasy. It is possibility. Their future depends on us, but also inspires us. Because in saving them, we save entire ecosystems. We save water, forests, rivers, soil, and the quiet balance life depends on. We save the world that allows us to sleep peacefully at night. Section 11. The final reflection. There is a quietness that settles at the end of a long journey. A soft dimming of the world, a gentle loosening in the chest, the sense that something ancient has been touched, and something tender has been understood. Tonight, we arrive at that place. We have followed lions across sun-washed plains, stepped softly with tigers through shadowed forests, drifted beside leopards in dappled light, watched jaguars ripple through rivers, climbed with snow leopards along the cold spine of the world, and run with cheetahs across golden grass. We have stepped into the past, into myth, into bone and fossil, into ecosystems blooming with life, and into futures still unwritten. Now we pause. Now we breathe. And now we listen to the quiet truth beneath everything. Big cats remind us who we are, and who we once were, and who we still have the chance to be. The silence that shapes the wild. For all their strength, all their power, all their mythic presence, big cats live in silence. A lioness walking at dawn makes no sound. A leopard climbing a tree becomes part of the bark. A snow leopard on a ridge melts into the light. A tiger stalking through bamboo is a whisper wrapped in muscle. Their world is not built on noise. It is built on listening. Listening to wind, to footsteps, to rustling leaves, to the breath of prey, to the heartbeat of the earth. In their silence, they shape the wild. In their silence, they teach us. That presence is not something loud. It is something felt. And maybe, as your breath slows with the rhythm of the night, you feel it too. That quiet strength that needs no roar. The lesson of patience. Big cats do not waste energy. They do not hurry. They do not chase what will not be caught. They wait. They plan. They choose. A tiger can watch a path for hours without moving a whisker. A leopard can wait in a tree until the shadows align. A lioness can follow a herd for days before making the first decisive step. Their patience is not passive. It is wisdom, a reminder that not every moment requires action. Some moments require stillness. Some require trust. Some require quiet. Tonight, as your thoughts soften and your body relaxes, their patience offers you a gentle permission. You don't need to rush. You don't need to force. You don't need to be everywhere at once. Just breathe. Just be here. Just be still. The interconnectedness of all things. Big cats are not isolated beings. Their presence shapes forests, rivers, grasslands, mountains, prey populations, vegetation patterns, water cycles, the very rhythm of ecosystems. When a big cat walks, countless lives respond. When a big cat is absent, entire landscapes unravel. This is not dominance. It is participation. A tiger protects a forest simply by existing. A lion stabilizes grasslands by moving through them. A jaguar guards riverbanks every time its paws enter water. Big cats are threads in a vast tapestry, a tapestry we are also part of. Their survival is not separate from ours. It is entwined with ours, rooted in the same soil, drinking from the same water, breathing the same air. The more we protect them, the more we protect ourselves. The beauty of difference. Each big cat moved through this journey with its own lesson. Lions showed us the strength of community. Tigers taught us the power of solitude. Leopards revealed the magic of adaptability. Jaguars embodied confidence and presence. Snow leopards whispered the value of silence. Cheetahs reminded us of elegance in vulnerability. They do not try to be each other. They do not compare. They do not judge. They live as they are, fully, unapologetically, perfectly adapted to their place in the world. Perhaps that is their deepest lesson. You are not meant to be everything. You are meant to be yourself, your own shape, your own rhythm, your own path through the wild, the gentle memory of the earth. When our ancestors painted big cats on cave walls, they were not only recording what they saw, they were recording how they felt. Fear, reverence, wonder, connection. These emotions have echoed across thousands of years, from ancient fires to modern documentaries, from carved stone to digital screens. Big cats awaken something in us, a memory older than language, a time when humans and predators shared the same darkness, heard the same wind, felt the same earth beneath their feet, a time when we knew that the world was larger than us, and that we were part of it, not outside it. This memory still lives within you, quietly, gently, always, a final still moment. And now, in this soft ending, as your breathing grows slower, as the night wraps around you, like a warm, steady blanket, imagine this: a snow leopard perched on a cliff, watching dawn rise. A lioness resting in tall grass, her cubs sleeping safely at her side. A tiger gliding through reeds, leaving only ripples behind. A leopard curled on a tree branch, invisible to everything but the stars. A jaguar stepping into moonlit water, the river glowing around its paws. A cheetah lying in golden grass, chest rising and falling in quiet rhythm. Imagine their presence, their calm, their ancient steadiness. Now imagine that same steadiness settling into your body, a quiet strength, a patient breath, a peaceful knowing. The wild is far away, and also inside you. And as you close this journey, know that the story of the big cats is not ending. It continues in every protected forest, every clean river, every quiet mountain ridge, and in every person who remembers. why these animals matter. Perhaps that person is you.